If you could start recording.
Yeah, I started the recording.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Cedars Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Michael Cox, and today your board of trustees will be leading this service. And as you might know, the title for the service today is Giving and Receiving During a Pandemic Lockdown. And we set aside some time during the service in breakout groups where people can share what they have received and given, both from Cedars during the pandemic and then more in general during the last 2 years. And as I said before, after the service, please stay on for a semi-annual congregational meeting. A couple announcements before we get started. The first is the fundraising committee has created some Cedars things. I'm showing you the car magnets. I think it shows upside down on the screen there, but you can get the sense of it. $25. Jane Martin will be at Cedar Center tomorrow from 2 to 4. If you want to go and purchase some, they're really cool. I got a couple weeks ago. So Monday, 2 to 4, Cedar Center, Jane will be there, or just contact Jane. Second announcement, for those that might be interested in hiking, Rod Kempkes and myself are planning a hike on Green Mountain, which is over by Silverdale, on February 12th. So if you are interested in joining for that hike, please contact one of us. It's about 1,000-foot gain, about 6 miles. So it is a hike. So anyway, contact us if you're interested. The third thing I wanted to talk about real quick is that we're hopefully going to return to live in-person services on February 13th and the 27th of February. And of course, this is going to depend on where we are with Omicron, but that is really our hope right now, that we'll be able to get back in person. And we will continue to have a live stream option for those that want to attend virtually. So that option will definitely still be available for everyone. So before we start today, I wanted to pause to acknowledge that members of our congregation occupy the ancestral, traditional, and contemporary lands of Coast Salish tribes. The homelands of the Suquamish, Duwamish, Clallam, and Chimicum people were ceded under duress through the Point Elliott and Point No Point treaties. Now, this acknowledgement does not substitute for the need to build authentic relationships with modern day members of these tribes and to learn about their living culture and history. And just want to welcome everybody. And I think, as people know, Cedars is committed to being a welcoming and inclusive community. And in all the beauty of the languages and cultures and skin tones that come together in our uniqueness, your uniqueness, we welcome you. And in all the ways you experience and express gender and the beauty of who and how you love, we welcome you. And with all the religious and ethical traditions that inform your spiritual life, we welcome you. So you're invited to join us today and always with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands. And Kasha is going to lead us in the call to worship.
Thanks, Mike. Good morning, everybody. It's now time to settle in, take a few deep breaths, in and out, and ready ourselves for worship. It's the last Sunday of January, and this week we've had a few little hints that spring is just around the corner, which also means the end of winter. I've been thinking about our theme today, and which is giving and receiving during the time of pandemic shutdown. And for me, in many ways, the pandemic has been like one long winter. The only way I seem to be able to get through it was to give back. I volunteered at Vax clinics with some of you whose faces I see right now. I delivered handmade masks to frontline workers. I helped organize a phone bank that could help get the elders vaccinated. And I helped do fundraising for nonprofits. And as a board member for Cedars, I helped Cedars navigate some pretty winter waters that were brewing. What did I receive in return for giving during this pandemic? It really is immeasurable. Love, gratitude, some new friendships, community, and connection. It's the same for Cedars during the pandemic. Our blue boat home is still sailing. And it's thanks to gifts from people here in our community, gifts received by and for all of us. So let's take another deep breath in and breathe in giving, and exhale and breathe out receiving. Breathe in, giving, exhale out, receiving. Let us worship together. Susan Schaefer will do the chalice lighting. Susan, you're on mute.
Thank you, Kasha, for centering us there. I'm Susan Schaefer, and I'm the worship associate for today. To me, giving and receiving brings joy to my life. Granted, sometimes I feel like I give and I give and I give some more, and I'm not appreciated much. But of course, that's not so. Maybe I haven't yet opened my heart or my mind to receive. Life has changed a lot in the past 2 years. My last memory of being with you all at Cedars was Sunday, March 2020. I had just driven down from Bellingham with Maggie Chang. She and I had been there for a children's literature conference, which was a highlight for us each year. We wanted to be at Cedars to sign up for the events auction. What struck me at that meeting was hearing about the virus and being told that we were not to give each other hugs. Can you believe it? No hugging. Now, to be clear, I don't go around hugging everyone, but sometimes I do like to offer a hug. I understand that some people aren't comfortable being hugged, and I think that is perfectly fine. My main point is this, that a simple hug is one way to give and to receive simultaneously. In the first year of the pandemic, I realized that I needed to slow down and focus on what I could do at home, that life is short and unpredictable, and I needed to reach out to my family and friends in a different way. My normal routine got shaken up, and I would say what I received was the gift of time. I called old friends on the phone, sent them notes, took long walks, and spent many hours in the garden. And then it went on and on and on. So what's next? When times get tough and I don't have a clue what's going to happen next, I have a little song that I sing. Years ago, I heard it from a friend and asked her to call my phone and sing it into my message machine. And there it stayed for many, many months. The lyrics go like this. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within. We will get there, heaven knows when we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. The other night I was telling my family about being asked to share my thoughts on giving and receiving, and asked them what they might have been given or what they received lately. Well, my 5-year-old grandson chimed in right away that he had given some money to a group that helps people find homes, and he received a thank you note. We talked about how you can give something to one person and you may receive something from someone else when you need it. One more thing, laughter is a gift that lifts my spirits, and it's the connections to people that brought me the most joy. I have no clue when we will be back meeting in large groups, when I will be able to go to a conference or an auction or a potluck. I miss those activities. In the meantime, I know we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but I know we will. I dedicate the lighting of our chalice to the gifts we give, or we bring to and receive from each other.
I believe we have a song coming.
Susan, you're muted.
I got muted right away. I thought I did the chalice first. I'm sorry. But let's sing the song. So join me in singing our first song this morning, Wo Ya Ya, from the Church of the Palouse in Moscow, Idaho.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know within. And we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. 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 Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, can you hear me now? All right. Not a seasoned worship associate, so I missed my order. So join me in saying our affirmation. I dedicate this chalice to the gifts we bring to each other and we receive from each other. As we come together to worship, we remind ourselves to treat all people kindly because they are our family, to take care of the earth because it is our home, and to live lives full of love and goodness because that is how we will all become the best that we can be.
Thank you, Kasha and Susan, very much. Those are great, great words. Little tears started coming up in my eyeballs. So we're going now. Robin's going to do a couple haikus from our own Donna Moore. So Robin, take it away.
Thank you, Donna Moore, for these haikus. And the theme is winter's gifts. I'll read them twice, as is the custom with haikus. School's out. Hooray, a free day. Snowflakes are powerful once they get organized. Hooray, a free day. Snowflakes are powerful once they get organized. The second one is called Winter's Gifts. A white mantilla decorates the lace leaf maple. Winter's confirmation. A white mantilla decorates the lace leaf maple. Winter's confirmation. This one is titled Last Rose. One tiny pink rose, searching the winter sky for the sun's last rays. One tiny pink rose, searching the winter sky for the sun's last rays. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Donna. And for those who don't know, Donna, I think you have 3 books. Is that correct? And you're writing a 4th one? Is that right?
Yes, I do. But I gave them all away, so I don't think there are any that I left, except the ones you have there. But so,
Oh, so I have some very precious commodity here, Donna.
yeah,
Yeah.
Two.
It's like a fundraiser to me. So thank
Thank
you,
you.
Donna.
thank you for reading my poems. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Oh, good. I was happy to.
thank you. That was great. So now we're going to have a song from You I Receive, and this is sung by Reverend Crystal Grassel Schmidt.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live.
I'm going to play that again because I liked it, and it's pretty short. So here we go.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live.
Okay, so now we're transitioning into the next phase. This is the breakout groups. Caution. Uh-oh.
Whoop. I heard some music. It was like, I was going to get some background music in there. I thought, yeah, no. Good morning again. Today, we are doing an interactive service with a UU twist. In the UU hymn by Shelley Jackson Dunham, We Laugh, We Cry, the first refrain ends with, we have our hearts to give, we have our thoughts to receive, and we believe that sharing is an answer. And that will be our focus today in the breakout groups. We will begin sharing our answers about giving and receiving during the past 2 years during the pandemic. Each breakout room will be hosted by a board member. They will ask for all of you to answer 2 questions if you are comfortable. I suggest you grab a piece of paper and a pen, or for those who like writing on their devices, their iPad or phone. And just jot down, when I ask these questions, just jot down some notes. So when you head into the breakouts, you might have them handy, if you will. The first question that will be asked in the breakout room will be, what did you receive during the pandemic? And what effect did receiving it have on you? What did you receive during the pandemic? And what effect did receiving it have on you? The second question is, what did you give during the pandemic? And what effect did it have on you? Question 2, what did you give during the pandemic? And what effect did it have on you? For those sharing a screen this morning, you might be as a family or in couples. You are welcome to all be together for the breakout. Or if somebody wants to go off and be on their own phone or another computer, now's the time maybe to make that split. If you want to go to another room and pull up the Cedars website and click on the link on the calendar to this service, the Zoom link. It's on the calendar online, and you can participate as a person sitting alone. And we welcome people still convening together on the screen if that's your preference. You do have just a minute or two, because Mike and I are going to have a little chat here if you need to run off and get that other computer booted up. So Mike, I'm going to start with you. What did you receive during the pandemic, and what effect did it have on you?
Thanks, Kasha. So I'm going to answer this on two parts. One, looking at what I received with time here at Cedars, and then just more general in my life. And for Cedars, especially in the last 6 months, I've received a lot of support from a number of people in the new position that I took on, co-president with Kasha. Thank you, Kasha. And it really made me, gave me gratitude for the support that people had in terms of knowing that, going through some tough times the last 6 months in congregation, let's be honest. And it's been a challenge, but the support of people really made me feeling gratitude that I was here. Kind of in general, what I'm really received, and I think Susan highlighted it, was that the reconnection with people that I hadn't seen for years or decades. And it was remarkable. People I had been a Peace Corps volunteer, or people who I was in high school with. And so that, to me, the receiving that reconnection really made me kind of feel good, in that I started connecting all the different pieces of my life. And so I felt, again, gratitude that people reached out and we could reconnect. So those are a couple that I had. And Kasha, I'm going to throw it back on you now. So what did you receive during the pandemic, and what effect did receiving have on you?
I received just a tremendous amount of support from family and friends when my mom died. In particular, from Cedars, the cards and emails from all of you very much lifted my spirit, and I can't tell you what it meant to me. I also received, like Susan talked about, time. The first year of the pandemic, I actually wasn't running around as much. I received time to be with my family. I actually stayed at my cabin for a few months solid because it was very safe, but it was springtime, and I've never lived there during springtime. So to see just the beauty of all the things growing, the smell of the lake and the trees, it was a gift that I received. It was very rejuvenating for me. What did I give? I think I mentioned in my opening, I gave a lot of my time for volunteering to help on community projects related to the community come together to battle. It was sort of like a bit of a war, if you will, a war on the virus. And then for Cedars, what did I give? Well, I stepped in as co-president with Mike. And this was really, I felt that Cedars really needed me at this moment in time. And I thought it was my time to lean in. It has been challenging. I think everybody would know for a whole host of reasons. But I feel like I am making a difference. And I feel that my experience and background have helped the church, and that is so satisfying. Jane Martin talked about this, the receiving of joy is from the giving. And Jane, love you for it. I'm going to use that quote many times. So those are my two. Let's proceed now.
Oh, gosh, I didn't get to give my giving one. I guess did the receiving. So
Oh,
I'm taking my time back. Okay. Anyway, so on the giving side, I think Kasha highlighted I think I gave my time, and we all know time is precious over the last number of months, and willingly. It wasn't a begrudge, but it was time. So that's why I think I gave to Cedars. In terms of what I gave in general, I guess if I can say anything, it's been friendship, especially to those that were having, let's say, health problems or mental health issues, and really focusing on that handful of friends who really needed that help in a challenging time. So that's what I feel most proud about, I think, is trying to help them when the chips are down. So there you go. Sorry, onward.
Sorry, I didn't ask that second question. I was just bulldozing through my notes. Thank you, Mike. It's interesting. I think there's a theme here because Susan talked about time too. Thank you. So now it's everybody else's turn to share if they're comfortable. I believe Herb is the room meister who is going to place all of us in rooms, and with a board member as a lead. It might take a minute or two while he does that. So you can continue maybe to make a few little notes about how Mike and I shared and Susan shared earlier. What did you receive? How did it affect you? What did you give? How did it affect you? While Herb does his magic and puts us into talking rooms.
Okay, I should tell everyone that the plan is to have you in the breakout rooms for 15 minutes. And I've got these rooms set, and so it's going to come up now. A few people, Mike, you need to go into room 6. I couldn't move you there automatically. If there are new people that have arrived since I sorted out the rooms, then I'll try and move you into rooms as we go. So we're ready to start, and I'm opening the rooms, and you should have a signal there that says join. Okay.
So Herb, I don't see myself.
Yeah, I couldn't move you in, but we have some more people here who are not in one of these. And just a minute, I want to start my timer.
So room 6, it doesn't look like there's a board member there.
There's not, and that's where I want you to go, Mike.
Okay.
And Judy,
Can
how
I just
about room?
join? I can just
room
join
4?
6.
Oh yeah, join 6. Judy, you want to join room 4? And there's also room in John Peck. You can go in rooms. Let's see which ones we have fewest people in. You can go into rooms unassigned. You guys, can you sign yourselves, or do I have to sign you?
You have to sign us. I don't see any link to do that.
Okay. So, oh, I see it here. Okay, it says suit Judy. So I'm gonna put you in room 4. And Jeff.
Hey, Herb, it's Nancy. Jeff I didn't realize that mine actually said Jeff and it had feet on a beach, but it's Nancy.
Okay. So,
And Jeff is somewhere else with a different Jeff logo. In fact, I can hear him in the other room.
okay,
leading
that's why
a group.
Jeff joined many times. Okay. So,
And I'll change my name now that I know I'm here as
okay,
Jeff.
yeah, if you change your name, that's gonna help. So, John, I'm gonna put you in room 2. And Mary, I'm gonna put you in room 6. And Nancy, let's see. Did you get, it still says Jeff on there. Nancy, have you changed?
I just clicked okay. Now I'm Nancy.
Okay, now maybe that's going to allow me to put you in a room. let me
Yeah,
scan
yes.
down here and see where we've got most space. Available, room 5. I'm going to put you in room 5. Okay, there you go.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Thank you, Herb.
You're welcome. Varied from 5 to 6.
I'm back. I'm just going to wait a minute. Herb, can you let me know when you think all the rooms are back in so we don't start prematurely?
Okay, I messed that one up. Not good time management on that one for us. My bad.
You know what? That just means the conversations were good, or the listening and the sharing was good. Welcome back. This is absolutely, I had a very enjoyable discussion room. Hopefully everybody else did too. We wanted to just take a few minutes to hear from each of the room hosts, just a couple of the themes, just very briefly in a couple of sentences, what you heard. I'll go first. It's interesting. It feels like it was yesterday that we were just together, but that 2 years is also a very long winter. And so for the receiving, I heard many themes that they received more time. They were able to connect with people that they hadn't seen in a while, whether it was the women's group, whether it was doing an activity, starting to do activities, like Leslie talked about Qigong. And so she received health and joy from reconnecting with all these people and staying connected with people. And also she felt that her health was okay because she was able to have the time to do some of these things, whether it was in her garage or a patio or a walk. Connection, very important. That was a common theme mentioned by a number of people. They received through family members, better connections, through old friends, connections. Creativity, there was time to actually be creative. So creativity and family relationships sort of start developing on a different level because a child came home to live, this happened to me too, to live with you for an extended period, or grandchildren. And also receiving the appreciation for Nancy, who works in a very diverse political environment. She just had a wonderful, she called it three-dimensional view, that working with people with different perspectives and viewpoints, it was, she felt it was very much a receiving moment for her. And then forgiving, reconnection, as well, coordinating and making new connections, taking that initiative, giving that time to that. And then I love this phrase, permission to slow down and simplify. So those were the themes. I'm going to ask for our next board member. Jeff, can I ask you to go next?
You bet. Thanks, Kasha. Yeah, so on the receiving question, I think what we'll hear a common theme is the gift of time. And that was reflected by a number of people, as well as reflecting on what is important in our lives. Taking that time to reflect and making some major life changes as a result of it. And as well as the reconnecting with folks that we had not connected with before, especially people who are far away. And now we've all been forced to learn how to Zoom much more often. On the question of what did you give during the pandemic, I heard giving support to colleagues during challenging times. And recognizing that we're stronger than we thought we were. Supporting loved ones, volunteering at church and other opportunities in the community. And I suppose during this time, the gift of time, using that to improve ourselves through classes, and then reapply that learning back out into the community and important causes.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jeff. Carol Ann.
So our group, of course, there were many similar themes. For many people, the gift of time certainly was a portion of that, and the time with connecting with others, family members. For some, like myself, time wasn't always, I didn't always get more time because I had kids at home schooling with Zoom. So, but I did have more time with my husband with not traveling. There was a theme also of having time to volunteer and be more active, and also gratefulness for Zoom to be able to take trainings and educational opportunities, connections even through Cedars with the leadership training. And let's see, and then life changes as well. You know, being a time for transformation, to really be reflective and think about reevaluating our lives and how we want to move forward. So
Great. Thank you. Mike?
Yeah, I'm not going to repeat. We only got through the receiving one, but not to repeat everything. But one that I don't know, surprised me a little bit, but I think was right on is technology. Technology help people connect better, help them feel a more part of it. They can participate, and so the technology was interesting, because sometimes I think we think it disconnects us. In this case, what I heard from people is it really helped connect us, and something we need to think about as we move on. So, but a lot of the other themes have already been talked about, so I'll stop there.
Robin, you want to share? You're on mute, Robin.
I always have to do that at least once a session. The common themes I heard were receiving the feeling of being needed. Also, time, having more time by not commuting, by other things was a big gift. Connecting with friends, relatives in different ways. Hobbies. A couple people mentioned hobbies, had time for hobbies. Let's see, one important one I think was learning, gift of learning to receive help and accept it. I think that was a big one. As for giving, I think people helped other people with hobbies they wanted to pursue, with being online, hosting Zoom meetings, and volunteering, which connects to that feeling needed theme. So we had a nice quote come out of this, and I quote, "You can't be a giver if there are no receivers. So it's important to learn how to receive as well as give."
Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Robin. Susan.
Yeah, we had a great discussion as well, and a couple of things that came out with the receiving end was a kind of a surprise for one of the families who got to know their neighborhood better, because somebody in the neighborhood had actually said, when they were really started out in the pandemic, to really get together and sit outside and by somebody's driveway, and they really got to know their little neighborhood that it was kind of spread out and behind the trees. So that was a real gift and a receiving end, but it was also a gift for each other as they shared with each other. Another receiving was just the outwardly incredible amount of receiving that was given to people. And part of that really made us think that sometimes you're just receiving a lot and you just take it in and you take it in. And you're acknowledging the giving that somebody's giving, but you're the one that's just taking it in. So that's a real important piece. There was a realization that or renewal in learning or doing poetry, writing poetry and sharing it with a group of people, because there was a way to do that. And a number of people felt too that a gratitude for the hard work that people put into letting Zoom continue with Cedars and how much work that was. And that was a real receiving end that they were grateful for. Getting to know Cedars, finding a place that they could meet with like-minded people, and the whole time thing. So it was just a good way to realize that it is the giving and receiving that comes. Volunteering was a big thing. Didn't have any opportunity to volunteer like they used to, where they really enjoyed it, because they like to give that gift of volunteering because they received so much joy out of having the results of that be so successful.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for sharing. Wonderful contributions from everybody. If you enjoyed doing this little exercise, it seems like something you would do at Thanksgiving table, right? But I encourage you to do it with friends and family. It is a thoughtful and thoughtful type of exercise. So thank you, everybody, for participating. I'm not going to repeat the themes because I think we heard them all. So I think, Mike, we are ready to move on to the last, I believe it's the last theme, the last hymn of the day. Was there anything else that I needed to cover?
No, I just want to thank Herb for doing the IT wizardry. So the last song is Come Sing a Song, and it's sung by Jess Hoodham.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when home is hard to find. And I'll bring a snow of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come
rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know you're mine.
And I'll bring you home
When hope is hard to find,
and I'll bring a song of love
and a rose in the winter time.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment, those we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Blessed be.
Thanks, everyone. Mike, I don't know if you want to say any final words too. Thanks so much for sharing. This is wonderful, really wonderful. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, 4 to 5 minute break between this. The service is now over. Thank you, everybody. Quick break and grab a drink, take a break, and then don't go off of this Zoom. Just stay on. Don't touch that dial. And we'll start the congregational meeting in about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay? Thank you, everybody. Mike, did you have anything to add?
No, again, thanks everybody. And that was great. And thanks everybody for sharing, for Susan and Robin and all the sharing in the breakout groups. So thank you. Tasha,
right.
do you want me to turn on the music or not? What do you think?
Yeah, go. Might be a perfect time. Turn on the music, and when the music stops, we'll restart. I'm gonna go refill my coffee.
There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me. There are more